I'm not ready. Cue the music video.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. As if he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through. Let me tell you about my homeboy Cap in this rap, one of the best movies on the map. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, stars Evans, Jackson, Johansson, Stan, Mackie, and Smolders. Directed by the Russo brothers, one of the best decisions Marvel made for us. This movie is the best in so many ways, and I'll give them to you all after the chorus plays. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. Cause if he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. Cause if he's led to a fight and a duel is due, then the red and the white and the blue will come through. Okay, on a real note though, this movie is amazing. It's actually my favorite film in the entire MCU, all 18 films that we have now. One thing that, really makes it my favorite is the fact that it breaks genre. It doesn't feel like a superhero movie. And don't get me wrong, I love superhero movies, but this kind of breaks the mold, kind of how The Dark Knight broke the mold for what superhero movies were supposed to be. It was a spy thriller disguised as a superhero movie, and I think that's what really worked with it, especially how S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposed to operate and how S.H.I.E.L.D. is, full of spies. It makes sense that it would feel like a spy thriller. I think this film is one of the most impactful films as far as the MCU goes, because here you have the breakdown of S.H.I.E.L.D. You have Hydra that's been hiding out in S.H.I.E.L.D. for all these years. You have, Captain America and Black Widow on the run. Nick Fury, is hiding out. It was a great story arc there. And also, of course, the story arc with the Winter Soldier. You have the inner conflict that Cap has where he's like, this is my best friend. Like, how am I supposed to fight this guy that's had my back, in every fight that I've ever had? But one thing that makes Captain America such a great hero is, his unwillingness to bend his morals or what he believes is right. And that's what makes him such a great character. And he's had, these same principles and the same morals and same ethics in all three Captain America films that we've seen. And that's what makes him such a great character. Everybody did a wonderful job in this film. Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, we got to see more of how she is as a character, and she's not just some flexible woman that does a lot of flips and kicks in the air and everything. We saw her character development with her. We saw, character development with Cap. We got a great introduction with Anthony Mackie as the Falcon. And he's, done a wonderful job in, all the films that he's been in. And if I had a critique, I would say, didn't too much like Robert Redford's character as Alexander Pierce. He was all right, but as far as MCU villains go, he kind of falls into the category of the lackluster MCU villains. Not saying he's one of the worst, but it just, I don't know. It was kind of like that Iron Man 3 Mandarin thing, I feel. But, not a lot of critiques with this film. I love this film. It's amazing. And definitely my favorite as far as MCU movies go.
Thanks, Brandon, for that. I can't beat that. That was great. Thanks, Brandon, very much. So, this is the 9th movie for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And just to give a quick synopsis on the story, you have Captain America working with S.H.I.E.L.D., taking orders from the top. Nick Fury also has a strike squad that works closely with him on missions. Black Widow works with him on missions. And it turns out that he's getting a little bit frustrated because he's going on these missions and he's trying to have everybody coordinate with what he's doing, but he's finding out that other members of his squad have other missions that he doesn't know about. Nick Fury lets him know, he's like, there's a lot of things that you don't know about. And he shows him these 3 helicarriers that are with Project Insight. And what they do is that they figure out who's a threat and they take out the threat. Captain America's not a real big fan of this because he says you're causing peace by holding a gun to everyone's head, and that's not really freedom, that's fear. And all through this movie, you have Captain America saying, I don't like this because it's not true freedom. And I love that about Captain America. It's like he's the Boy Scout that has the power to back up those things that he stands for. And I love that about it. Back to the story. Nick Fury has some information about Project Insight and he's got it in his grasp, but he can't quite access the file because it's restricted. And when he asks who caused the restriction to where I can't see it, the file says Nick Fury. So he goes to the top of S.H.I.E.L.D., who is Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford. And he says, I need you to lay this just for right now. I need to figure out a few things. And as he's leaving that meeting, he is attacked by a squad dressed up as policemen and a SWAT team and another entity known as the Winter Soldier. He barely escapes. He runs to Steve Rogers' apartment and he says, don't trust anyone. There are ears everywhere. And then he is shot by the Winter Soldier because this dude is bad. Captain America gives chase. The Winter Soldier eludes him. I mean, if you can elude Captain America, you're bad. You're bad. Steve Rogers takes the information. He goes with Black Widow. They find out that the Winter Soldier is the one who's responsible for Nick Fury's assassination attempt. It looks like he dies. He really doesn't die. This is the thing that Marvel does. They're like, hey, this person's dead. Ah, surprise, he's not dead. And I think one of the first ones was Captain America, but nobody expected him to be dead anyway. Anyway, they go through a whole thing where they're looking to see, you know, where things are happening, who's causing these things to happen, and it turns out that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been infested with Hydra. That's right, Hydra did not die with the Red Skull at the end of Captain America, the first Avenger. It has flourished under the guise of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, not everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. is a Hydra agent, but there are deep cover Hydra agents, and they cause things to happen. As you see in a back and forth with the digital Arnim Zola, which is a really cool nod, and Captain America and Black Widow, you find out that Howard Stark's death was made to look like an accident, and then they talk about Nick Fury's death. They don't know that Nick Fury's still alive. They get out, they go find somebody who has been a running partner with Steve Rogers. In this case, it's Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. He says, I can help you out because he used to run these rescue missions where it wasn't exactly that he was a pilot, but he had these wings and he would go and rescue people. And so they get him a set of wings and they go to try and stop S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, from launching these helicarriers with Project Insight and taking out targets. Because here's the thing, if Hydra's behind these target acquisitions, they're not going to just take out the bad guys. They're going to take out anybody that can stop them. That includes the Avengers, that includes the Defenders, that includes anybody with any kind of pull in order to give them any kind of resistance. They break into S.H.I.E.L.D., they get onto the helicarriers, and they're stopping the helicarriers. Nick Fury comes back from the grave because, like I said, nobody expected Nick Fury to be dead. And they stop the helicarriers. Alexander Pierce is killed, and S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra are both taken down. And now we're on an even slate. Captain America is rescued by the Winter Soldier because the Winter Soldier is actually Bucky. And they don't go deep into it, but the whole time, killing Captain America is the Winter Soldier's mission. And whenever Steve finds out that it's actually Bucky, he goes from on the offensive to, I don't want to fight you, Bucky, because we have history. Bucky doesn't remember him. And so for him to actually rescue Captain America at the end of the movie shows that there's something that has finally broken through. That's the story in a nutshell. How was this movie? Oh, this movie's so good. This is one of the best movies that Marvel has offered. Not my favorite, but it may be the best. up to this point. A lot of times you have that standard comic book movie and it goes through all the beats, it hits the beats, nothing really is that surprising about it. You know, there's some cool, you know, fight scenes or chase scenes or this, that, and the other, but it ends pretty much the way that it begins. There's not really that much going with it. This is not that kind of movie. This is a combination of a spy political thriller and a comic book movie, and the marriage is just so delicious. Why did I use delicious? You have Captain America, who is, for all intents and purposes, the straight man of this. He is the uncorruptible force for good. And then you've got Nick Fury, who is your top undercover agent that, you know, he's also incorruptible, but there's a lot more to him. Like, he may be incorruptible, but his hands are nowhere near clean. The bad guy in this, which if you have to say there is a bad guy, is Alexander Pierce, the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., who is also the head of Hydra. Doesn't make for a compelling villain. But if you're looking at this from a political thriller standpoint, he's got a lot to say, and he doesn't even see himself as the bad guy. And like I said before in other videos, whenever you have a villain who doesn't view himself as the villain, you've got somebody who has their actions completely justifiable from their standpoint. And he wasn't looking to say, I'm gonna kill all these people because I'm evil. He's saying, I'm gonna kill all these people because they cause chaos and I'm going to bring about order. The action sequences in this are they're really well done. Every single action piece has something new to give. From the first piece, you know, the opening sequence where he's boarding the ship on this mission to save a whole bunch of hostages from about 25 or so hostiles. It reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 2, that opening level where you're sneaking aboard the ship and you have to take out people without raising a whole bunch of alarms and everything like that. It felt like that. And if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2, I'm not the biggest fan of that game, but that opening level is killer. It is amazing. It is everything that a game should be. And this movie, that sequence mirrors it beautifully. Then you've also got the sequence where Nick Fury is being attacked by the fake police and fake SWAT. That sequence is great. I mean, you actually get to see so much Nick Fury, and he's not like that one-off, you know, one-liner kind of jokey thing that you see in Iron Man 2. You see the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this. It's great. And then you have the bridge sequence where Sam Wilson is helping out Black Widow and Captain America, and the Winter Soldier shows up. He rips the steering wheel out of the car, and then they're on the bridge. He's blowing up buses and stuff. Like, that sequence is really good. That's where you find out, that's when Captain America finds out that the Winter Soldier is actually Bucky. I mean, everything is so well done. And then to wrap it up, you've got the back and forth between Captain America having allegiance to his friend and is refusing to fight him even though he's trying to fight Winter Soldier. At the end, he's like, you know, it's like, you're my mission. And Captain America's like, well, then finish it because I'm with you till the end of the line. I mean, this movie is wonderful. If you haven't seen it, you've got to watch it. It is a must-see. I mean, it signifies the introduction of the Winter Soldier. It signifies the introduction of the Falcon. You get to see the destruction of S.H.I.E.L.D. You get to see a major takedown of Hydra. Plus, it's got all the nods to the first movie, and it's got some visuals into the future. You actually get to see where the staff is that Loki had with the stone in it, which you still don't know it's the Mind Stone yet. But you got that, and then you get a little glimpse of Quicksilver. Nobody cares. And Scarlet Witch. People care. This review does not do this movie justice. Go watch this movie. For real. So that's how I feel about Captain America, the Winter Soldier. We're always taking submissions for upcoming movies, so the ones that we have coming up are Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. So if you have something that you want to say, send it to me at comicbookquizbowl@gmail.com. If I use it, you get those entries for the giveaway. That's it for Captain America, the Winter Soldier. What did you guys think? Did you agree with me and say that this is one of the best Marvel movies of all time? Do you think it's just so-so? And if you did, what's wrong with you? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe. Why haven't you subscribed yet? Get on that. Share this video with all your friends. And as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.